It's the most one-eyed podcast.
It's what we're here to do. There is only one side in this competition. It's game-changing.
It's absolutely game-changing, Deeble.
Riddle me that,
Yeah,
mate.
riddle me that, Deeble. Do you remember?
It's what we're here to
This is True Bloods, the number one independent Sydney Swans fan podcast in the home studio today to review the dire derby against the Giants, the upcoming daunting clash against the Crows, and everything else about our Swannies girls. I am joined, as always, by the man who was also disappointed with the Ballon d'Or result this morning. It is Alex Donnelly. Alex, how's it going?
Oh, I've just been triggered again. Like this
No,
is
sorry, you're wearing your Tilly's jersey. I had to bring it up.
I am, and I'm also wearing my Arsenal hat. How Bon Marty won the women's Ballon d'Or this morning is mind-boggling. She lost the Euros final, the Champions League final, yet Mariona Caladente plays for Arsenal, won the Champions League final, lost the Euros, but then Alessia Russo won the Euros, won the Champions League final, scored a shit ton of goals. Neither of them won anyway. It's just triggering.
It's a whole thing.
Wrong. It's a whole thing.
thing.
This was as bad as Naz not getting three votes against the D's. Like this, it's been. And then today, for all those playing at home, I've avoided the 2024 grand final. I've not seen any of it since the game happened. In the office today, because the men's grand final. In the office today, because it is grand final week, they're replaying the grand finals. And in back-to-back games on the TV was 2022, where we got belted by Geelong, and I honestly have not much watched any of that back. So I remember bits and pieces of that, and then they showed 24. And I do just
skips 23.
Yeah, they just showed they're like, why don't we show when Brisbane lost? Why are we showing when these teams won? Like, come on. So it was very triggering, and I just remembered and people get in the comments about this, and I'll get to the girls after this. I remember the distinct moment I knew that we weren't going to win that grand final. It was all over. It was when Eric fucking Hipwood kicked that goal from the boundary in the second quarter.
A goal that he would never normally make.
No, so that's how my day has been for all those playing at home. So
now we have the joy of talking about the worst performance we've probably seen from our girls for a very long time. So
I don't think I've been as disappointed in a performance from this team ever.
Yeah.
And last year there was a lot of excuses. Everyone was injured at certain times. That Gold Coast game was probably the low point.
Yeah.
I usually like, it's the same with Mads. I don't care about the results usually. Against the Giants, I do care about the results.
Yeah.
I was livid after the game. Like with 30 seconds to go, when I knew that we weren't going to win and the siren was going to go, I turned off my TV and walked out of my living room because I couldn't bear to hear the siren and hear that song and hear Kelly Underwood talk about the greatest victory of all time of the Orange team, despite the fact that they were wearing fucking charcoal. I was angry. And I'm not going to come across that way on this show. We will be much more measured and calm with our delivery. But after the siren, my initial feeling was I was livid.
Yeah, I kind of had obviously a different perspective being actually at the ground. So I was surrounded by a lot of good people and good vibes. So it was kind of hard to be that upset initially. Obviously, we were all pretty devastated while we were watching because we were just like, what are they doing? Like, this is not our girls. But it wasn't until I was on the train home at about 5 p.m. going, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? But because we have a pretty negative after Facebook this week, we're going to start with the good and then work our way to the bad, and then we'll talk about, obviously, in the preview, we'll talk about the upcoming game. So there was good things to take away from this game. Not a lot of it happened on field, but we had 7,171 people at Henson Park. The Swans wanted to get 6,000. They smashed the Henson Park record. It is the second biggest crowd for this year across the league, and it would have been the second biggest crowd last year, including finals. So this is just fantastic to see. Shout out to everyone that turned up. It was absolutely incredible. Like, I can't even begin to explain how good it felt to be there. And like you can tell that there was a lot of people there when you were there, but when watching the footage back and
Yeah.
seeing the photos, it just made me so emotional and happy. Like I was like, it sucks that we lost, but that part of it is so good.
So I don't even think this is a good. I think this is an amazing. I think this is a phenomenal achievement. The fact that the Swans have set the standard, they've put the pressure on themselves to get crowds to games, and watching it on TV. Result aside, just watching it at times and seeing when balls go to different parts of the pockets, where usually in most games, there's a dead zone and there's not many
Yeah.
people there. There were people everywhere. You
Yeah.
could hear the noise through the TV. Having a supporter base like that, and then, I've also like the Giants, they did try a little bit through their social media. Sydney Derby does help,
Yeah.
but there were people turned up, and that's the main message that we're going to get across all year. Scotty Gowans has been saying it all year, as have the players. Get through the gates. If you can't get through the gates, watch it on TV. And it's really funny living here in Melbourne, and some of the Melbourne faithful might see it, is seeing how confused and befuddled other members of the media in Melbourne are at the fact that Sydney can draw crowds. But
Yeah.
it can't be the hill. It can't just be the sun. It's like, no, like the Swans have literally set out from day one to give their women's team their own identity. That
Yes.
yes, they've had the male players support it and talk it up, but the women's teams had their own identity all the way through, and they've gone through that, and they've brought us along with the journey. Collingwood, for example, they are the biggest club in the country. Their crowds for a club that size are abysmal. Like they are genuinely pathetic, the lack
Yeah.
of crowd that they get. And their fans, they genuinely do not care. You see
Yeah.
them. There's some dickhead on Twitter that was trying to give you shit when Collingwood beat us 2 weeks ago, and I just replied, I was like, why don't you just support your team instead of trying to point score on the internet? I don't
Didn't even see
understand it.
that. So
Probably have him blocked because he's a moron. But
probably,
it's just like,
probably.
and you see Port Adelaide fans over the weekend and the Geelong game. They're turning up week on, week out because you're seeing personalities of players come through. And there is, and I was talking to another colleague in the media today. We're talking about double headers and things like that. And just like, you need to build rapport with the fans. The players need to build that rapport through either stories or getting
Yeah.
through the media and things like that, being accessible. And I think players like Chloe, players like Zippy for GWS, Zali Goldsworthy, someone you can attach yourself
Yeah.
to as well.
There
There's
was
obviously,
so many because it was Georgia Garnett's
yeah,
50th game.
of course, her as well with the headband.
Yeah, everyone was getting around her. Like the few Giants fans that were there were getting around her completely as well. So that is 100% true. And something else I want to add on top of that, which my friend Sean pointed out to me because he is from Canberra, so he sees a lot more Giants games than Swans games. He does often drive up for the Swans. Every other club chooses to target families over young people, and I think this is what the Swans are doing successfully. I honestly think there was more just people in their 20s there on Sunday than there were families. Targeting, it's bad habit female women's leagues get into where it's like it is a family thing and it is so powerful and iconic for these little girls to see the girls playing sport, which it 100% is, but also it is just sport and people just want to watch sport and people just want to support women. So I think they do such a good job at targeting everyone
Yeah.
instead of bogging themselves down in such a family-based thing. Also, it is spring in Sydney, like, and it was a beautiful day. You can probably see if you're watching on YouTube, I am a little bit sunburnt. So
I mean, that's not saying a lot. You'd get sunburnt with this studio light that I've got
yeah,
on
look,
right
me
now.
and Jazz will go neck and neck for who's the most translucent.
Yeah, so also shout out to Jazz Grierson at halftime. They have the cameras in the rooms, which is weird, but anyway,
Oh,
she's
okay.
pumping on the sunscreen. I was like,
Yeah, of course.
yes, a sun smart queen. We do love that. I do have to say, with the good also comes a negative. You got to toss the coin,
I
but
did
wanna-
get to toss the coin.
I'll talk about the negative after it. Take us through that because I think that's like the fact that you got to do that.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to see it on TV, which is I was
I
annoyed
know.
about.
I was half expecting to get a million messages through when I was walking back to the to where we were all
Nothing.
sitting. Nothing. So I think it was Tuesday, the Swans put up on their socials. There was a competition to there was like ball bring the game ball in, guard of honor, and coin toss. And I was like, these are things I've all wanted to do a million like forever. But let's put my hand up for the coin toss because if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. It's fine. I'm sure I would get to do something like that at some point. And then on Friday, in the middle of the day, I get an email from the Swans being like, "Hey, you've been picked to do the coin toss." I was like, "Oh my god!" It's so exciting. So, and they were like, also, you were doing the coin toss, you get to be in the Guard of Honor. And so I got to bring a few of the faithful into the Guard of Honor. So, okay, officially, the Guard of Honor is cursed. We are not allowed to be in the Guard of Honor anymore.
Never again.
Never
the Guard
again.
of Honor. The Guard of Honor is 0 for 3 this year. The Guard of Honor
Never again.
happened before the Bombers game where we kicked 7 goals, 77, and should have won that game. And I'm still stressed about that. Last week against Collingwood, I'm looking at you, Cremator. That is all your fault. And then this week, this is Saundo's fault. I'm looking at you now too, and you, Polly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
we are 0 from 3. No
zero from
more.
3.
No more Guard of Honors and all that. Let's just get around the players after they've won. We can Guard of Honor them after they win.
Yeah. So
Shout out to the club also for being so successful in helping us out, but I believe in curses, so we're not doing it anymore.
So we're not doing it anymore.
Sorry to
And so
Jono.
got to then we did the whole Guard of Honor. The girls ran out. Got taken aside, took to the the middle of the pitch. Got introduced to Beck Beerson. Is that her last name?
Yeah,
And
Rebecca
then-
Beeson.
And then Luce was doing the coin toss that week, and she recognized me, which was so exciting. It was so sweet. I was like, she's like, "Oh my god, how's it going?" I was like, "Oh, good." Tossed the coin. We lost the toss, which obviously no one knows because it wasn't on the coverage. Someone did take a video for me, which is on the socials if you do want to go have a look. And so at that point, I was like, "That's not a good sign. We lost the toss. That's not a great sign."
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had to walk off the field. The pit, oh my god, the surface underfoot felt so good, I have to say.
Yeah, right.
Like we were walking around to where they're going to run out. Henson Park, it's a good ground. It felt very nice. Much better than that piece of shit we played at last week.
Oh, yeah, still not good.
But it was amazing. So thank you to the club for picking me to toss the coin. It was very, very cool. And I will never be doing it again because clearly we're cursed now.
Yep, you're definitely. I'll do it against North Melbourne if I can curse them. But we do need to talk about some of the good in the game because we've spent 15 minutes just bullshitting, which is a good way to start a podcast, as is any. We've gone through some trigger moments. We need to talk through what was good because there's only
There
a
wasn't
little.
a lot.
There wasn't a lot, and we need to then go through the negatives because again, how that idiot podcast from Polly talked their way out of this one. There is no excuse. There is no
All
excuses
the faithful that was getting around a lot when we were having Luce's piss.
So we'll start with the good. I thought our defensive work in the midfield was fantastic with Ali, LG, and TK just laying into tackles all day. They had high tackle counts, and we got to see them get to work in and around the football. Unfortunately, a few others didn't go along for the ride with them. We saw glimpses of players throughout the day, but as you could see by the coaches' votes, which are the most wild coaches' votes I've ever seen, it was TK, Ali, and LG in the midfield. That was about it.
Yeah. And do want to also shout out Ali kept going back, which I had never seen her do before, like on the goal line. I don't know if Alice maybe hurt her hand or something, but Ali was doing the marking on the line, and we would have lost this game by another 3 goals if Ali wasn't standing under the goals for about 4 different attempts shots on goal that they had. Honestly, can we throw her forward? Like that would have been real helpful.
Well, we threw Brenna Tarrant forward in the last 5 minutes, which was interesting.
Yeah,
I don't mind it. You had to try and change something up there.
But they were so Ali, LG, TK, by far the standouts. Like you couldn't fault them. Unfortunately, we've been saying for a lot this year there hasn't been passengers. This game was a game of passengers for sure. Another good thing to point out, you did mention Zippy Fish. She's a halfback. She needs to play off halfback. She's not a winger. She looked so much better when she was playing off halfback. I think both of her 2 goals came from when she was playing off halfback. We were all just watching there going, anytime she went on the wing, we were like, can we just push back, please?
So it's really weird how you think about how a wing is going to affect a play because obviously at some of these W grounds with 16 aside, if you get forced out onto the wing, you are a fair way away from the action. The best part about Zippy when she was playing in the half back line is she was just had I'm going to go wherever I want and pop up in space to find the football. Yeah. And you take a look at the disposals that she's had. Our first 3 weeks, she's having 25 to 30. She had she had next to nothing last week against Collingwood. She had 15 on the weekend against the Giants, which, her 15 disposals, there was probably one butchered kick that she had, but I do love that she's floating forward as well. Like
Yeah.
she floated forward into perfect spots to kick those two goals. Like as an opposition coach, you're not going to leave Zippy Fish standing in space 20 meters out from goal because it's going to end up in the goals
Yeah.
every time. She just reads the play so well. And I can understand that's why probably Scotty's put her on the wing. But when she gets on half back, she actually creates run and drive because we see that she had the lead amount of intercepts in the team as well and for score involvements too. I think she's important off half back because she can help generate our drive and run.
Yep.
And it goes into why with being without Sophia, who would play on a wing, is so important right now.
Hmm.
We'll just plug her in there and go from there. I think hopefully that they've learned. And going into this week against Adelaide, where the ball's going to be in our defensive 50 a lot, I think having Zippy as the good outlet kick's going to be very important because some of the movement outside of defensive 50 was not good on the weekend.
Yeah.
And we'll get to
The only time we looked good coming out of defensive 50 was when it was coming out of Zippy's foot or hands.
Yeah.
The other person I did want to shout out, Ruby Sargent-Milson. It was her first game back for the year, coming in for Julia O'Sullivan. I thought she did a really good job.
Yeah,
For
I did
someone
too.
who had not played a game this year, and I don't remember, I didn't check if she played a game at the end of last year. I think she did. I think she played up right till the end. But she just flipped back in seamlessly. I'm happy for her to stay in for Julia all year. I think we did not have confirmation yet when we recorded last week, but Julia O'Sullivan has done her ACL confirmed, so she is out for the rest of the season. So I think Ruby has filled that gap pretty well. Obviously, not everyone could have gone with her, but for someone who hasn't played the 6 games that everyone else has, she did a really good job.
And I thought Sarah Grundon actually had a decent day too. Like she was popping up sort of all over the field because there was points because at sometimes the blonde hair and the ponytail on the TV screen, you're like, oh, who's that? And then you see the
It's
number
the
on
same
the
on the
back.
ground, Alex.
It's and she was popping up. She took a couple of marks. She was pretty decent with the football throughout the day as well that I thought. So she was decent. And I think having 2 games in a row, she'll play again this week as well. Building into confidence, I think she sort of almost locked herself into a spot for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Obviously, she did come in when Sophia went down, but I think she'll be playing multiple games this year unless obviously something goes drastically wrong with her
Yeah.
form. It's like as far as positives, what else can we have? I suppose
Can I just say the second quarter was actually very good. We played very good footy in that
there was
second
about
quarter.
10 minutes of it though. Like we let them get that really
Yeah,
cheap goal out the
at
back
the
late,
end,
which gave
but
them momentum.
but yeah, apart from that, we looked so solid in that quarter. I don't really know what happened. Like obviously we'll get into it, but
Oh, we
like if
will.
we could have played 4 of those quarters, we would have easily won this game. They couldn't even get it into their 50 for 15 minutes of that quarter, and we looked so good, and so it just all fell apart after half time. Partially it was, I think GWS got a massive G up at half time because they came out as a different team, but we looked bad.
Our clearance work throughout the day was really good as well. Like we absolutely dominated them with the clearance. It
Yeah.
was just the next possession, which was our biggest issue. Like we were getting it out, and this is where I think it comes back. And where Sophia Hurley, it's you get the ball down, Ali or not, sorry, yeah, Ali LG or Laura Gardner that is, or Tanya Kennedy get the footy. They give it off to Sophia Hurley, who's a beautiful kick of the footy, and she's that link that we're kind of missing at the moment. I think that's why we're putting Zippy on the wing to try and get that, but you see it at times with Zippy because she's so slight and small. If she's got someone massive barreling at her, she's just not fully confident in herself to
Yep.
throw herself into the contest yet, which understandable. She's 18 years old. She'd weigh 50 kilos wringing wet.
Wet. Yep.
So I understand that. So I think that's where we may need to get her to run and carry off halfback, play a very uncontested game. She can throw herself in, as we've seen, but I just don't think in and around the coalface of the clearance is the best for her, which I suppose we can lead into the negatives of the game.
Yeah, so the first thing I wrote down when I was kind of trying to unpack what happened was the Giants won every stat except for our stoppages and tackles, and at the ground, it didn't even feel like we won those. Now, when I rewatched it, it did feel like we were winning, getting first use of the ball. It was them having ridiculous amounts of pressure and basically stealing the ball off us and always having someone free from the congestion to for them to handball it off to. That was very, very clear even at the ground, which you normally can't get that sort of insight at eye level, but it was very, very clear at the ground and it was very, very clear on the replay. But I don't understand, I don't know how we won the tackle count because we looked like we had no pressure in that game. As in we were not applying the pressure.
Our pressure was good. It was just once again similar to the Collingwood game that this team came with a much better pressure rating throughout the day and really lifted. And to put it frankly, we got outworked, and it wasn't Swans footy at certain times. Like they
Yeah.
outworked us, they outran us. This is, we've heard Scotty say, and he said it on this show, that it's a 16-week strength and conditioning program that they've got for this season. And I don't know what's happened in weeks, 5 and 6, but there's been clearly some missteps. And
Yeah.
you heard it in his press conference after the Collingwood game last week that they wanted to fix the slow starts. They fixed that. But then in the start of the third quarter, we started slow there. So there is some issues with our consistency. One of the biggest problems that I had throughout the day was, okay, they've got the spare. Ball comes to us. We can't take a mark. Like, no composure whatsoever throughout the
Yeah.
day. Like, I would have loved to have seen a drop mark count because it would have been off the charts for us. Like, simple marks the other day. We take a lot of marks as a football team in general. Before the weekend, we averaged about 60 a game. We took 39 on the weekends.
Yeah.
And uncontested marks is part of our control of the football, which helps us get our possession chains and our movement going because there'll be a kick, another one, and then someone will run past handball, and we are often gone running in waves. Giants smash their average. They average about 40 again. They've taken 54 on the weekend. And
It was so obvious though, as
Yeah.
well. Like they in that first quarter they were fumbly and then they immediately fixed it and they couldn't not take a mark. It felt like
Yeah.
any time they got a ball came near them, they were taking a mark. And that's what you should be doing. Like that's not even just they were better. That's just football skills. Like
yeah.
the other thing that really stood out to me was when we could take a mark, we were playing on far too quickly.
Oh, yeah. We had the mixture of playing on too quickly, not having an option because we wanted to take the game
Yeah.
on, which I understand it's a part of the game plan that we have.
Yeah.
But then we would overuse the football. There'd be too
Yeah.
many handballs, a handball too many, not taking the first option when it was there. It was just sort of just a lack of composure and overthinking things and rushing and panicking because that's
Yeah.
the game state. Obviously, they've walked in going, we're going to win this. This is great. We're better than them. The way we played in the second quarter, I thought we were just going to roll straight through, win this by 40 points. And I assume they did too. But
And there's probably something in that. Like, if we want to quickly unpack the mental side of it, I think both these Collingwood and Giants games, there was a big element of going into this being like easy win. And then both those teams have decided to play their best game of the year against us. And full credit to both those teams. They did. And they executed their game plan perfectly, which they have not been able to execute against anyone else. Like when Collingwood played Hawthorn, they kicked 317. You couldn't miss a single goal against us.
Collingwood should have won that game on the weekend. They are playing good football. They just couldn't kick a goal.
Yeah. Anyway, my point is we are kind of, I think, mentally sort of slipping. I can see it in Lucy McAvoy in particular. She is so out of confidence in front of goal. I don't know why we keep putting her forward because she keeps just palming it off. She knows she can't. She knows she's not in the goal kicking mind space. So don't have her down there.
She needs to go back to halfback.
Yes, it does. It's not working. Why are we throwing Brenna Tarrant forward?
No, I don't
Throw
mind
Lucy
that.
back. Like, as in, if we're making changes in the middle of the game, stop trying to throw Luce forward. Throw her back. Like, that's her bread and butter. She knows what to do down there. She clearly can't kick goal at the moment. So what's the point of her being down the front?
Yeah, this weekend I think Lucy McAvoy will be playing on a half-back flank, given the amount of firepower that this Adelaide Crows team does have.
Yeah.
And we'll break that down when we get to the preview of the game. And the thing that I've been building to sort of this whole show, and we've talked about, work ethic and some laziness in defending, and I was disgusted in how lazy we were in defensive 50 in this game. And I've been thinking over the last couple of days with how hard I want to go on this because obviously I don't want to just attack because we've lost them and I'm annoyed. So, like, if we recorded this on Sunday, my answers would have been completely different to what they are right now.
Yes.
But watching the replay as well, we have allowed GWS to take 17 marks inside 50. I can't tell you how many of them would have been uncontested. It would have been 15.
It was
From
ridiculous.
and this is where the mental aptitude of it comes on, because this is very simple stuff that you learn in under 10s football. It's when someone's going back and you kind of know your opponents after a period of time. And I'm sure the Swans studied and watched up on the Giants. Anyone's
Yes.
having a shot from 40 to 45 meters out in this league, unless they're Taylor Harris, Chloe Molloy, a couple of other players, they're probably not going to make the distance. The amount of short chip kicks to 20 meters out that we let in throughout the game was genuinely unforgivable. It's one of the main reasons we lost. There was who's the girl with the headband again? I've completely spaced on her
Georgia
name right now.
Garnett.
When Georgia Garnett kicked her goal in the third quarter, I'm at home yelling at the TV going, she's going to play on. She's going to play on. She's going to arc around. She arced around and no one was near the 10-meter space and no one ran at her. Our defensive efforts in the 50 were abysmal, and it's the main reason we lost this game. If we tighten those up, they don't get those options. They probably don't kick 4 of their goals. And I hope that Scotty, Tanya, Lockie Hunter have raked them over hot coals about it this week.
Tanya Hetherington.
Tanya Hetherington. Who did I say?
You said Tanya. I was like, that could be Kennedy.
Oh, sorry, Tanya Hetherington. I was like, did I say the wrong name? Shit. I had that today when I was talking about Jesse Wardlaw. It's been a bad day for names. And I hope that they highlighted that, especially the Garnett goal, because everyone could see it.
Yeah.
And no one did anything about it. And I think that's the most annoying thing.
For mine,
Yours.
the thing that annoyed me on similar par with that, and it's very much in conjunction with it, is letting a tackle slip.
Oh.
Or not running with your opponent, just letting them go. I don't want to call her out because I love her and I think she's really coming into her own in this club. But Darcy Baloney, stay with your opponent. Just stay with them and tackle them. Why are you letting them run into the forward 50? Why are you stopping? Right?
Yeah, she didn't have a good day, Darcy. And,
No.
and she'll be the first to admit it. And she's like, and the best thing about this is these players, and we know because like through this opportunity that we've had, we have got to know them and we know how driven they are.
Yes.
And that like
It makes it harder, just to be completely honest,
yeah.
to throw them under the bus because we know how hard they're working. We know how hard
Like,
this is to do as a job. Like, we know how hard it is, so it feels bad to throw them on the bus, but we have to when they're not performing to how well we know they can.
So this is like, and I'll touch on my other point in a second. This is the next step of AFLW as a whole, because we're in the 11th or 10th year now, whatever it is. Season 11.
It's ninth year, 10th
The
season.
COVID year has just confused me.
Yeah, it's ninth year, 10th season.
Okay, so 10th season. We're at the point now where in the media, we are, and this is just, it's not something that's been all of a sudden agreed on. The game is now at the point where the players are training full time. That like the wage thing's still an issue. They need to be paid more. We admit that, but they're training full time. It's a full on schedule. They are now at the point where if they are playing shit football and not being at the level that's expected, they are going to be called out because they are professional athletes playing a professional sport. And it is the next level where constructive criticism, not just going, so-and-so played pathetic and there's no sort of reasoning why. And you're probably not going to say so-and-so played pathetic because you don't want to personally attack them. You want to point out where someone's let things slip. Like you see on all these men's programs where someone's let someone get goal side. Like when Errol Gould snapped it around the corner and Brad Hill had that half-hearted smother and he got raked over coals for it. That is the next evolution of this game, is to rightly point out where things have gone wrong throughout the day. Also, at the same time, celebrate the wins, always celebrate the good things. But there are so many things that deserve to be called out. And we know that behind the scenes, the Swans are doing that as well, which is a good thing. They will be looking at this, and let's add in, it's the fucking Giants. They will be seething at this loss.
This is probably going to hurt more than any of the other teams that we could have lost to this year.
And I say that because we say like that they're going to be harsh on themselves. You've heard Chloe Molloy in interviews after she kicked 7 goals. Chloe, it's amazing.
I missed 3. Yeah.
Those are the standards these players hold themselves to.
Yeah.
Like we saw it. Ali Morfitt bounced back after a poor game against Collingwood, and she had a great game. on
Yep.
Sunday. She was
She,
her.
if we had one, it would have been her and LG that pulled us
Yeah.
over the line by themselves.
So like Laura Gardner's use of the footy on the weekend wasn't up to her usual standard. We talk about it in the men's, like my man Beef Sheldrick goes at 40%. Next game, 65%. LG went at 43% on the weekend. She's probably gonna have 30 and lift that up to 70 this weekend as well.
yeah,
And another one as well. We haven't mentioned this. Zali Goldsworthy was the best player on the field by so far it wasn't funny. Did we not think to put anyone on her?
that was absolutely bizarre watching that back because obviously you can't really tell when someone's copying a tag when you're at the ground. So I just assumed Tanya was on her. Tanya had a fantastic game in her own right. She didn't like it. Just showed that she doesn't need to be a tagger if she is just a good footballer. But Azali was going insane. And why were we not changing the game? Like, one thing I've been so complimentary of us all season is how we are willing to adapt to a game. Why are we not willing? Why were we not willing to adapt there? There were so many things that just felt so unlike our DNA, and I think that's why this game was so frustrating. It just didn't feel like we were watching our own club.
Yeah.
Like, it was the first game of the year that Chloe didn't score a goal.
Yeah, and a couple of balls didn't bounce the right way for her. There was a
Yeah, and there
handball
was
over
one
the-
where it should have been like when Holly Cooper scored her first goal.
Yeah.
That should have been a Chloe mark. Like I watched it back a bit 3-4
Did
times.
they call play on in that instance? Because I
Yes.
just assumed she played on. Okay.
No, they called play on. And there was a few
Okay.
times she was pushed in the back and didn't get calls and go away. I'm not here to poo-poo the umpiring. It was whatever.
The
But
umpiring wasn't bad on the weekend.
it
to be
wasn't that
honest.
bad.
I didn't
I was
notice
just saying on Chloe there was a few calls that could have gone her way, but that's Chloe. She's the best player in the competition. Calls don't often go her way. She did not kick a goal. This is her first time, and she's still leading the goal kickers count. Let's just put that out there. She still got kicked 15 for the year, but
Yeah.
it was her first game not kicking a goal, and it was very evident that she was just not being able to find herself a way to get into this game.
But that's the thing. Like, good players will have bad days. Like,
Yeah.
we've seen that. Like, Buddy Franklin would have games where he wouldn't touch the football. Jeremy Cameron's had games where he doesn't touch the footy, and that's in those games. It is up to the players. Not you. This is where like the bottom six, the conversation when you talk about them comes into it. It's about them lifting, and unfortunately, our bottom six forwards didn't do a hell of a lot. And like Holly Cooper is a great goal sneak. She finds great positioning all the time. She needs to improve her work rate. Like she's had one kick. That was a goal in the first quarter. Amelia Martin, she's obviously been in and out of the team all year. She's struggling to find that level. Lexi missed a gettable shot as well. And like, obviously we didn't talk about like Chloe's shot hit the post because she tried a weird curling thing because of the wind. So like she's getting looks, but like
Oh, it wasn't like she didn't have any attempts.
but it was her lowest disposal game of the year. She had 11 disposals. Montana Ham, unsighted, had 14 touches. She had a couple of good moments, but I'm not sure
there was
what went
question
on
marks whether she was like injured or something because she did go down in the second quarter. I wonder if
she
they were
got
just
cleaned
taking
up.
it easy. Yeah, I wonder if they were just taking it easy. She was trying to take it easy. I mean, not the time to do it, Mon, just quietly. But
That happens. One positive you mentioned was Cynthia Hamilton throwing herself into everything because it's not like she hates the Giants or anything. But yeah, that was enjoyable seeing her just go in like a cannonball a few times as well. And the goal that she kicked in the last quarter was brilliant. And I think the overall theme of this game, like I think we've gone hard enough on what went wrong and where we can improve on, and we don't need to harp on it for any longer. We're 4-2 now.
Yeah.
We now come up against North Melbourne and Adelaide, or Adelaide and North Melbourne in the next 2 weeks.
and Carlton.
And Carlton got belted over the weekend by North. But North
Doesn't count.
North are going to belt everyone. These next 2 weeks are very important because if we all of a sudden lose another 2, we're 4-4. We're just like West Coast last year, start the season off really well, talk ourselves up, and fall off the face of the earth. Now, the important thing is to put context into it. At the start of the season, we both said if we can be 5-1 or 4-2 going into the Adelaide and North Melbourne games, we would be happy. So we need to take the context of that into it because we thought the Geelong and Richmond games were going to be very tough, and we assumed that we were going to beat Gold Coast, Collingwood, GWS, and the other team that we beat on the way through. There was another game. Who did we beat round 2? Who did we
Freo.
round 3?
Freo.
Freo. I assumed we'd beat Freo. So we've lost 2 games. It's just not the 2 that we thought we'd lose, which we thought might have been Geelong and Richmond. it is now imperative that we show something this weekend against Adelaide, and we'll talk about why it's a big game this weekend. North is an aberration. Like, it's just unlucky that we have to play North. We didn't play badly against North last year, despite losing by 10 goals. So the next 2 weeks set the following 4 weeks up, because we play Carlton and the D's. We have to win one of them.
And honestly, probably both of them.
Yeah, because then we've got Essendon and West Coast to finish off.
Yeah.
We will smash Essendon. They are gone. They are absolutely cooked. They are screwed. West Coast, the daisy dust is wearing off a little bit at the moment. You just got to hope.
And that game is at home for us, which is a huge benefit. You don't have to go to Perth.
And you have to hope that, Ella Roberts doesn't have a Zali Goldsworthy day, because best player in the competition, Ella Roberts, on her day. So it is imperative that these next 2 weeks we show something. If we somehow win this game against Adelaide this weekend, great. And we'll talk about that in the preview, but I think it's off the back of being 4-2. It's good. Lost the 2 games we shouldn't have, but we're still 4-2. We're in a good spot.
Yeah. I think that's why it's a harder pill to swallow, because we really, really notched these at the start of the season as easy wins. And as the season went on, we thought for sure there would be easy wins. It's just unfortunate timing that we've come into a bit of a slump.
Yeah.
What's the word? Not fitness.
Form.
Anyway,
Form slump.
we've come into form slump. Thank you. Come into a form slump while these 2 teams have decided to play the best games of their season, and then probably will fall off again for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And it's gonna look even worse at us in hindsight. But this happens all the time. You see teams have really good games randomly, and especially in derbies and rivalries. Like, you never know what's going to happen in a rivalry game. Like, this happens. But yeah, it's not a bad position to be in. We could be like Richmond, who have not won a game yet.
Oh my God, they are just so bad it isn't funny.
So
and
bad.
it's mind-boggling how bad this football club is with the team that has Mon fucking Conti in their team. Like,
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So it could be so much worse. It was really disheartening leaving the ground. All the faithful, as I slumped down as the siren went, oh, Pol. And I was like, yeah, because now I have to go and talk about this and rewatch this game. It's painful.
If only GWS were paid as much attention to their women's program as they did socials, they'd have some success. And with that, let's get to the social segment.
Yeah, we'll be back right after this.
This is True Bloods, and we are back for the social segment this week. Ask the faithful on the socials this week, Pol. You put it out today.
I did.
Unfortunately, the photo wasn't what I wanted. I was like, I need a photo of the girls looking despondent after the loss.
I don't know what happened this week, but there were no galleries available, and even the ones that I could find, there wasn't really despondent looking photos. I had to kind of improvise with just a Chloe photo from the weekend. I did want very despondent looking girls, but
can we also get a check on Deebs? Hey Deebs, what is despondent and how do you spell it?
Google define. Don't ask him how to spell it. That's not fair.
Thesaurus.com. I miss Deebs. I haven't seen him in 2 weeks. I miss that bloke. But yeah, so we put it out there. After a dire derby, the cracks in our solid foundation are starting to show. We're about to come into our hardest battles of the season. How do we get through these weeks as unscathed as possible? Does our defence need to step up? Are we not utilising the footy where we should, or have you seen it different? Best answer to be featured on the potty. Don't forget the speak pipes, and for those listening as well, make sure you do get in the speak pipes each and every week. We'll need to make sure to put up the speak pipe link after the game on a Sunday.
It's always in the link in bio. So if you are ever in the middle of the week, you're like, I've got some really good thoughts for Pol and Alex, chuck up a speak pipe, because we will play it the following week. But we do actually have one this week. Big shout out to Nicola. She sent one through this afternoon responding to the questions. So we are going to play that for you now.
G'day guys, it's Nicola from Cheltenham. Alex told me to get this in before 6 and it's 5:30, so hopefully I squeeze in. First off, love the potty. What I'm not loving is losing to the Giants. That was really confusing to me. And I, for mine, I think it looked as if the girls were really sort of slow to react and bounce back when things didn't go their way and get the game, or at least try to get the game back on their terms. I still think that forward 50 entries are a problem, and I think composure with the ball in hand when pressure is coming is really huge. That was really huge against Collingwood as well. I do want to shout out some incredible efforts from Laura Hausegger and Ali Morfitt. Love both those girls. It's so exciting to watch them play. Really hope we can rally and have some solid games over the next couple of weeks. I know it's going to be super hard. Anyway, love the potty. Bye.
Thank you, Nicola. That was perfect.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the entries into forward 50, which she was right
Because
about.
we've talked about it at length in the last 6 weeks because it has not been an issue that we have not been able to fix. And she's 100% right.
We need to talk forward. I'm going to say it every week.
I'm telling you, Jules, now you've done your ACL. It's time to go back to Island Hunt and find us a key forward.
Yeah, honestly, like I said it last week about Bogue and Vicky Wall. Someone just go find the Gaelic footballer that's playing for Counts, Kilkenny or Tipperary. Yeah. I've got an Irish passport. I'll go and find one in winter when I'm over in Europe. It's fine.
Off topic, and we'll talk about it when we play North.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever seen Bogue's first name before.
Oh yeah, it's spelled Blathland, but it's like Blaine.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why do you think I've avoided saying it?
We've desperately need a tall forward. I think that will save a lot of our woes because, oh God, if I have to watch a team take another 15 marks in our forward 50, I might not be here next week.
Yeah, flip. All right, now, importantly, we have a very, very long answer on the Instagrams from the Mulchcore enthusiast. I have so many questions as that name. There's like Junior Burger, like we had questions about him throughout the season as well. Do you enjoy mulching? Is that what you're all about? Like, is there a certain way you mulch that makes you a Mulchcore enthusiast? Anyway, this is
landscaping guy.
Big landscaping guy or gal, we don't know. And big answer. Sorry for the long comment, but I have two genuine questions. Are our coaches actually this bad, and do we want to be taken seriously as a club? I thought last week was disappointing, but we've somehow topped it. I don't understand how we can look so good in some ways and absolutely hopeless in others. Our skills were abhorrent and our decision-making was somehow worse. Our only two players capable of winning the footy were Tanya and LG, and they just so happen to be our worst users. Darcy Maloney's form's dropped off a cliff, LG's disposal keeps trending downward, and the number of times Tanya knocked the ball away from teammates was infuriating. Then on top of all of that, the severe lack of pressure for a majority of the game, and our co-captain showed very little leadership. We are starting to look exactly like the men's side, where we rely on 4 to 6 players and very high pressure. We lose their impact, all that pressure, even just a little bit, and we're just completely gone. That was easily Chloe's worst game, just not hitting a single target, not scoring, not tackling, and not making a single good decision. I don't understand the coaching again this week, not bringing Priv in, moving Chloe out of the midfield where she only had her minute of impact all day. We are a joke ATM. We need to ask ourselves, are we serious as a club and as individual players? To be clear, this is not a league thing. Anyone shouting down the W and saying it shouldn't exist and that all the players are shit, kindly shove it. Agreed. But specifically with us, do we want to be taken seriously? Show some respect in the way you go out there and perform. And that's not even respect for the fans. Don't worry about us. Have some respect for yourselves as a team. I know it's only 2 losses, but who they've come against concerns me. If we can't beat teams around us and below us, not just talking ladder position, but where they are as a club as a whole, we are never going to challenge the teams above us.
Okay, first of all, claps for Alex for reading that whole thing out because I was like, this is a really good comment. I don't know if I can read all that whole thing.
I think I had one slip. Slip.
I don't know. I was reading along with you. I think you did okay. I don't think, if you want to go check Faithful, it's up on the Instagram. Go read it yourself. But
there was one slip up. So I want to break that down.
Yeah, go for it.
So our skills were bad and our decision-making was bad. The coaches aren't this bad. Like, the coaches have a game plan set into state. Scotty Gowans was the person that picked Ash Riddell. He knows what he's talking about.
Yes.
People overlooked Ash Riddell for 2 years. She's going to win the best and fairest this year. And Scotty Gowans is like, I want her in my football team.
Yes.
Side note. Two players capable of winning the footy, Tanya and LG. Yeah, they're not the most efficient of users, which is
But they've
annoying.
never been.
No, and that's where missing Sophia comes into it. I
Yes.
do agree that you look to your captains or your guns to show something in these games, and Chloe and Luce had little impact. I think it was Cynthia that had the impact at the start of the last quarter. I was like, show me someone who loves a goal more than Cynthia Hamilton. You can't. Uh, I don't think we rely on high pressure. I think we rely on good use of the football and quick transition.
Mm.
When we get pressured is when we fall off. The Priv thing, we've sort of talked about that. It's, I don't
There's
know where.
something else going on there, and I don't think we'll really know
Yeah,
for
okay.
a while, I think is what's actually happening because who knows?
Because
Who
yeah,
knows?
you're not hearing about her playing in this scrimmage matches, so I'm not sure what's
Yeah.
going on there as well.
Yeah.
Um, I think we are serious as a club. I think we've shown that. We've shown that through our recruitment for the way that the girls have gone about it this season. So I think that's a bit harsh because every single one of them in the off season leading into this season were breaking records on the running track and in the weight room. They were fit, they were strong, they were ready for this season.
Yep.
Unfortunately, sometimes you do lose games of footy. Like the men
Yeah.
lost to Richmond last year. It happens. And I agree. Losing to Collingwood and Collingwood one in hindsight might not look as bad at the end of the year.
Yeah.
This one, though, this one, it does feel a bit unforgivable. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot that was right. I don't know where. I want to ask you, Pol,
Mm.
midfield. So we've got obviously not Sophia because she's injured.
Yeah.
This Saturday, first centre bounce up against Ebony Marinoff and Hatchard and probably Munyard if she's fit. I can't remember who rucks for Adelaide. I think it's Sarah Allen. Who is
That
your
sounds right.
starting? Who is your starting four against them? Obviously, it's Ali, but who are the
Yeah.
other three?
Um, Monham, for sure.
Mhm.
I don't like us really starting anywhere else on the field, to be completely honest.
Yep.
LG, obviously. I'd probably go Chloe.
Okay.
I don't think she's started a game in the midfield this year so far. I could be wrong.
I think she started the Geelong game in there.
I just think for having lost two games in a row, it is just a really easy way to show we are coming out with intent in this game, especially because we know it's a hard game. Just chuck her in there. If it doesn't work, again, you can just throw her forward. It's
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
And then so that's three, and then I guess Tanya. Like that would probably be a
Yep.
four without
Yep.
Soph there. Like I mean,
Yeah. My
I
starting.
can't see a logical answer for throwing anyone else in there.
So center bounce on the weekend. My starting center bounce up against that Adelaide lineup would be Ali, LG, Chloe, and Mon. I'd have Cynthia leading out of the goal square because if we
Yeah.
can get a quick tap down to Cynthia leading out of the square, I think that's the way forward. And then obviously Tanya might start on a half back flank, half forward flank, and then look to come in and tag someone from there. But yeah, we'll move on. Ashworth
Yep.
Blair for mine.
For yours, Ashworth.
Always shit losing to them, but we had moments of brilliance, but we did make a lot of errors. You're not wrong. You're
Yeah.
not wrong.
I'll go with this one from Troy Holmes over on the Facebooks. To me, to yours. We've lost our
That's a for
timing and
yours.
we've lost our timing and connection with the football. The run and carry game was strong, but we have been missing targets. Sometimes it needs to be just slow down, look for a better option. Too many poor decisions and turnovers, like I said in the preview. Like just some like yes, I understand wanting to move the footy quickly. There is definitely a case to be made for that. But there are certain times where it's like just slow the game down. I think it was Alexi. Uh, she got a free kick and just immediately played on. It was like, no one's in the forward 50. Just wait.
I think Sarah Grunin did it at one stage as well. Her or
Yeah.
Lulu was one of them. Kerry Swift. It was disappointing to watch. Didn't seem to be too much pressure, too many missed tackles, and on the odd occasion when a mark was taken, they wanted to play on too quickly. Usually a handball to someone under pressure rather than giving a team a chance to set up towards the goal. The atmosphere at Henson Park was great though. Fantastic crowd. Shout out Kerry because it did look phenomenal.
It was great. I'll go with this one from Daniel Bradley. I feel like we're missing Sophia Hurley badly. Me too. What a shock. When she was playing the first three rounds, we looked solid, but after her injury, it's showing a lot of cracks in our ball use. I know we shouldn't be relying on players now, and as we have done in the past 2 years, but it feels evident without our last 3 games without Hurley. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
She is just the ball user, and it
Yeah.
is really, we're really struggling without her.
I've all figured out that Vicky Hallam is my burner account with this. It was a disappointing outcome for us, but I don't think the game itself was awful. I very much enjoyed the second quarter. For example, it was nice to see us competitive in the first quarter and not let GWS get off to a flying start. Having said that, I cannot emphasize this enough that we need to stop bombing the ball into the forward 50 where there is nobody for us. The easiest way to let the opposition get the ball and ruins what is usually a good passage of play that deserves to end in a goal. I obviously emphasize the capital letters. Thank you, Vicky, aka my burner account.
Yeah. And Vicky also has a profile picture with Brody Grundy, which is very common.
Respect.
Respect. I did want to say just quickly about that. I do think they've gotten in their heads about this attacking style of football, and they've just forgotten how to actually think about what that means as opposed to just going forward. I think they need to actually
Yeah.
think about it as, oh, once we need to actually do something with the ball once we get it, as opposed to just get it down there. Because as we said when we played Collingwood, yes, it's all well and good to be like, we want to play this fun style of football, but if we're not winning and we're not getting the ball to scoring positions, it's not fun football.
No.
I think we'll go with this last one from Luke, which I'm assuming is supposed to be Luke, but they've just had to break their name up. I don't know. Sorry, Luke, if it's not Luke. Luke, we might need to put the butcher's aprons away for mine.
Be yours. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put them away. Yeah.
Put 'em
Put them
away.
away.
It's time to elevate to a different trade.
Yeah, it is. Oh, we're gonna be a big trades podcast. Oh
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna be builders because we're gonna put in the building blocks. We're gonna lay the foundations,
Yes.
faithful, and we're gonna build. That's what we're gonna do.
Building. We've built this
Oh,
firm foundation, faithful. We need to keep it steady because we don't want to start seeing cracks in it now.
you don't build a house and you don't lay it down on grass. You put it in some cement. You lay the foundations and you build from there. Okay, let's go wrap this up and let's move to the preview.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to True Bloods. Jumping into the Adelaide game preview, and this is I'm dreading this game.
Come
I'm not dreading
on!
this game. I'm not dreading this game, but it is a very daunting task coming up against the formidable Adelaide, who, Alex, I don't know if you've realized, we've only ever played once before.
Yeah,
And
we
that
got
was in the
belted.
2023 semi.
Yeah, and we'd completely run out of puff by that game.
Yeah.
I remember going back and watching it. Like we'd hit the brick wall by then. Like Anne Hatchard, I remember just absolutely shit canning us throughout the day. Her and Marinoff that night just killed us. Like we got well beaten, but it's like you have a look at the team that we had there. We've talked about it a lot this year. There's a lot of like players that weren't doing much. Like you have a look at the players in this game that aren't there now. What, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Maybe even more if it
5,
was 3 years
6,
ago. Sorry, 2 years
7,
ago.
8, 9 point. There's 10 players in that team that played that will not be playing this weekend.
I thought it would be more, to be completely honest.
Yeah, and this is also a team that didn't have Ali or Priv playing because they're both injured.
Yep, Proof
And I
had
think
her
and
knee right in front of me the week before.
And TK got injured too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so we don't have much to go off, is what I'm saying, because
Yeah.
again, the complete team is completely different, and we've only ever played them once before. So I've obviously watched a fair amount of Adelaide this year. They've been a very strange team to watch. Kind of on comparable terms with us, except better at scoring goals. Is basically the area I would put them in.
Yeah, fair. I'm just trying to get up their injury list right now because last weekend they were losing to Gold Coast, which was
Okay. They were losing up until 3/4 time when they'd only kicked 1-7. And then in the last quarter, they had finished the game on 7-8.
yeah.
What happened?
Okay, so here we go. So Adelaide's, yeah, and then they just went, screw this, we've played with you enough, we're going to go win the game.
Yeah.
So Grace Kelly's a chance of returning. That's a song, I'm sure of it. She
Yes,
had
it's a
calf
Micah
soreness
song.
last week. Chelsea Randall, also a chance, but she was placed in concussion protocols the week before, so that's why she missed. Caitlin Gould, Caitlin Gould's got a broken wrist. She's not playing.
I
Hannah
thought she
Munyard,
got injured. Yeah.
yeah, Hannah Munyard won't be playing either. Her ankle's still bothering her as well. So, I mean, if Chelsea Randall doesn't play, please Adelaide, take it nicely
Take
and give
pity
her
on
an
us.
give her an extra week off because Chelsea Randall is a very very good footballer, faithful, and her not in that Adelaide forward line will give me a little bit more of confidence. I've not a lot of confidence because if you've never watched Adelaide before on the weekend, you are going to watch. Like I talk about, Ella Roberts is the best, could be the best individual player in the competition. If you've watched Jasmine Garner and Ash Riddell, both brilliant footballers. I think Ebony Marinoff, for everything that she does across all facets of football, is the standout player in the AFLW.
It's
She's
why she
an
won the best and fairest last year.
and she should have won it by further. Like we talk
Yeah.
about players not getting votes. She should have got 3 votes in nearly every game last year. I
Yeah.
watched a lot of Adelaide last year. Ebony Marinoff is the personification of a footballer. She tackles, she marks, she handballs, she contests. She had a 37 disposal game last year and laid 22 tackles. This is the kind of player that we're
Yeah.
talking about that we're coming up against this weekend. They have been good forever.
Yeah.
They are
And
they have shown signs of weakness and not a lot going their way this year. But if they decide to turn up and turn it on, we are in for a very tough fight. They are I can't understate enough how good of a football side that they are.
yeah. And I feel like we will be remiss if we do not mention it because it's another notch in the column of why this is going to be a difficult game. It is also Ed Marinos' 100th game, which is the first player to do that. And we have to come up against her.
Yeah.
So that's fun for us. That's that's everyone's going to be celebrating Eb and we're going to be like, sick, we're here too, guys.
So
So
the thing about that is I think I think it might have been Caitlin Gould was also at the start of the season. Ebony Marinoff, Caitlin Gould, and Ali Anderson, all on 93 games. So all due to play their 100th game this weekend.
yes.
And I'm pretty sure it's Caitlin Gould. It's Gould or Randall. Obviously,
Well,
both.
Randall just had a 75th. So
Okay,
it
so
would
it's
be
Caitlin Gould.
Yeah.
It's Caitlin Gould. She was due to play a 100th game, but she's been injured, so she won't play it this year. Ali Anderson's also going to play a 100th game on the weekend for the Brisbane Lions against Richmond. So first of all, we also just need to state how big of a deal this is that a player has hit 100 games when this is the longest AFLW season ever, and we're playing 12 games. So this also shows how good Adelaide have been, that Ebony
And
Marinoff is
Brisbane.
reaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ali Anderson at Brisbane as well. It shows how good Adelaide and Brisbane have been for 10 seasons, that players are hitting the 100th game. They basically haven't missed a game in 10 years. And it's just a credit to them for being here from day one. You'll see the photos of Ebony Marinoff in her first game to where she is now. Hasn't changed much, just a baby face is now grizzled.
Yeah. Because
It's
she was like 18. Like
yeah.
she was probably one of the
She was a child.
youngest. Yeah.
So she's a pioneer in the game of AFLW in this competition. And I hope she fucking loses, to be honest. No offense.
I mean,
Ebony.
yeah, of course.
You seem lovely, but I hope you lose.
Yeah, like it's like when we had to play Bont in the 250 his 250th game. Like everyone loves Bont, everyone loves Eb, but I'm sorry if you're playing my team, I do want you to lose your milestone game.
So Adelaide got beaten in round one by St Kilda, which is still one of the weirdest
Bizarre.
results of the year. They struggled against Geelong for the first
And then-
half and then went psycho.
Yeah, say similar to this Gold Coast game that just happened.
They battled to beat the Giants. Only beat the Giants by 5 goals. They lost to Brisbane. They were genuinely robbed. I thought I wouldn't see a worse free kick given all year against Adelaide. Then I saw the Amelia Borg one happen on Saturday afternoon for Port Adelaide. Go check out my TikTok, faithful. It is the most disgusting decision you will see all season across all competitions. And then they beat Hawthorn by 20 points, and Hawthorn still can't kick a score. And then they beat Gold Coast by 16 points last week. So for as good as they haven't clicked yet. So we can beat them. If we are the Swans from rounds 2 and 3 against Geelong and Gold Coast, we can win this game.
Yes. 100%. Like I have there of the top 4 teams from last year, you've got pardon me, North, Brisbane, Adelaide, Hawthorn. Is that right? They're
Yep.
the top 4 teams last year.
We can beat them all except for North.
The 2 of the 4 that I would want to play are Adelaide and Hawthorn. Fortunately, we don't get to play Hawthorn.
I want to play Brisbane again. I reckon we can beat them.
Them too. But Adelaide have not shown they are still at the level they have been at for the last 10 years yet this season. They have shown glimpses, like we have shown glimpses of being one of the best teams, but they are very beatable. And they're also very beatable at home. They don't seem to very much have a home ground advantage.
Yeah, so they lost. So they played. Are we playing this at Unley or are we playing this at
Yeah,
Norwood?
Unley.
I was about to say they're unbeaten at Unley.
Oh,
Norwood,
okay.
Norwood's a bit weird. Norwood, they lost to like the D's and St Kilda there
Yeah.
last year, and then they've lost to Brisbane there. Yeah, so we're playing at Thomas Farms Oval, which is Unley. Norwood's a very weirdly shaped ground. Unley will probably suit our game style better. It's a
Mm.
bit of a cow paddock, to be honest. I've been there. I think it's Sturt's home ground. It's a bit of a cow paddock, but we. It's very funny. Yesterday, Polly and I were talking. I'll let you in. I was going, yeah, because I was depressed yesterday about it. I was like, if we bring that kind of effort, Adelaide will beat us by 60 points. And I've thought about it today. I've gone back and watched the replay and I've watched Adelaide. If we bring the pressure, we can get it.
Oh,
We can,
yeah.
like,
I think
and,
it'll be close regardless. I,
yeah,
the issue is we have not many avenues to goal, and they have a million avenues to
yeah.
goal.
So
So it's
please keep Chelsea Randall out for another week.
yeah, please, that would be so nice. I know she probably wants to be there for Em's 100th, but
Oh yeah,
like, if you would like to do us a favor, even though you guys hate me, um, you do the men's hate me. I don't know if the women's hate me.
oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, yeah. The women's fans are cool. The men's fans
Yeah,
stop being weird. You're
yeah.
weird.
Um, but yeah, so anyway, I'm really, really needing defense to not be lazy this week. Like we were
Yeah,
talking about how it felt that they were just not clicking and just being a bit, and they were just off. They were
yeah.
off because we had talked them up all season, and then last week they were just
Mm.
none of the defensive line was clicking. If we can get that to click how it had been clicking in the Geelong game and the Gold Coast game, they're not going
Yeah.
to be able to move the ball as well as us. That's my thoughts coming into
It,
this game.
it also wouldn't shock me that if in the back of the team's mind for a couple of weeks has been this game because
Hmm.
they would have expected to beat Collingwood and GWS, and
Yeah.
we know that. And this was the test. Like
Yeah.
now we're at the point where a lot of people have written the Swans off, going, "Oh, this could cook their finals hopes," and that's understandable. Like you've got
And
to
I
say that
prefer
because
it, to be honest.
they've been poor. So you think that TK may go to Marinoff. I don't think Marinoff's taggable. I think the interesting matchup is going to be on the wing because Neem Kelly and Madison Newman on the wings are flying machines. So
Mm,
it'll be interesting to see what kind of matchup we go with on the wings because they've got a lot of outside pace and they love to
yeah.
go forward. They don't defend particularly strongly. They
Mm,
love to flow forward. Their defense, in fairness, Zoe Prowse, Chelsea Bedell, and Sarah Allen, really strong defenders. So it's going to be interesting.
yes.
That first use of the
It's probably going to
football.
be low scoring, is my sort of
Yeah.
thought.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't know what an over under is in this game, but I'd be taking the unders in this game if
Yeah.
there is one. I'm going to try and find that now because,
Yeah, I
uh,
talking about the wings, it is interesting because I think
no over
we didn't
under.
really talk about her in the review. But we've talked about her a lot so far this season. Lulu Puller still had a phenomenal game on the weekend. She didn't really do
Oh,
much
yeah,
wrong.
she did.
And
She'll play a defensive role on one of them.
yeah, and I think that'll actually probably on Neve Kelly. I think that'll actually do help our case quite a bit is having a defensive winger. I don't know what's going to happen on the other side. We're still kind of a bit up in the air about who plays on that wing, especially without Sophia. And I guess we should bring it up now. Sophia Hurley has made her injury worse or changed. The injury has changed. She's now hurt her
It's a
quad.
different one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a load thing because you're probably using different mechanisms and
Yeah.
mechanics, and yeah, it happens.
Yeah. So she's out for another 1 to 2 weeks. She's definitely missing this game. She might be back for North. We don't know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because we were really hoping she'd be fit for this game, but we are still missing her. Yeah, so we don't really know what's going to happen on the other wing. So I think, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Because I don't want Zippy playing that, especially because I don't think Zippy can be a defensive winger. So
I want her to run off half back up
yeah,
against
with
someone. I just had their forward line here. If she gets stuck on Keely Kusterman, she will just run off her all
yeah,
afternoon. If she ends up on a Hannah Ewings or India Rashid, Hannah Ewings is one of the most naturally talented footballers I've ever seen, but Zippy Fish will disappear from her faster than you've seen, like me to a free beer kind of
yeah.
thing. Like that's how fast Zippy will run away from her because she'll have her for speed. Who do we? What changes do we see to this team this week? I think
It's
there'll be a
hard to
couple.
say. I think there will be, but I don't know who you can bring in is the issue. Maybe like we see Beck back if whatever's going on has been resolved. We don't know. This isn't not us giving information. I'm just kind of going off the like sort of procedurals and stuff. It just seems very bizarre. So maybe she'll be back this week because God knows we could use a forward. Um, Maybe we
Yeah.
see Giselle. We
Yeah,
haven't seen her this season. It might be worth bringing her in just to
I
try it
was
out.
just scrolling there. I was seeing Giselle, maybe Reed comes back in. Like, are we going a bit taller? What are we doing?
Yeah,
Like, Kiara Hillier now fit. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Holly Cooper gets dropped.
yeah,
Just because we've talked about it, she averages 3 disposals a game and she's not laying the tackles at the moment. I know she's going it better than a goal a game, but I think for an all-round game, especially against an Adelaide, you need someone who's going to have 7 or 8 disposals, lay 6 tackles.
agreed, agreed. And I don't think the small forward role is going to be super necessary in this game. Yes, she's kicked 6-1 so far this season, which fantastic work to her. No, absolutely. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't see the role that she plays being super necessary in this game.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know who comes in because unfortunately the list sizes aren't particularly big and we're running out of players to sort of rotate through. So, especially in the roles that we need people in. But yeah, I do think that there'll probably be a few changes coming into this week just because, well, I'm surprised there wasn't more last week, to be honest. I thought we'd probably throw some Magnus around just to try some stuff.
Yeah.
Obvious. But it'll be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to the teams coming out on Thursday. Well, no, Friday because it's a Sunday game.
Oh, yes, we'll have the extended squad.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll wait and see who travels.
Oh,
Really,
yeah,
but
someone go hang out at the airport for us. I
well,
need
they
to
post
get.
so much content. I'm sure that we'll be able to see before.
Oh, that's right. This is great. I just realized because grand final week, we get
Yeah.
a replay of the greatest AFLW game I've ever seen last year. So I'm just getting the tips up
Yeah.
here. We'll talk about it later. But who are you
Invites
inviting
to
to
the party?
Yeah.
I'm going to invite Lara Halsiger this week.
Okay.
I thought she had a pretty good game on the weekend. I just want her to up her pressure a little bit more. I think she's one of the victims of not sticking her tackles, and if she can bring that to her game, I think she will go to the next level. And I
Okay.
think we need that extra oomph in the defensive line.
Mine's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Captain, lead
Yeah.
from the front. C. Molloy. She will admit her last 2 weeks have been poor. We don't need to tell her that. She will tell everyone that herself. She will be more disappointed than anyone. So
Yeah.
you don't need to worry about Chloe Molloy. She will be on her game this weekend. Big game, big play, stand up. Chloe Molloy has 15 touches, kicks 3 goals. Swannies by how far?
I'm gonna go 7. 7
2.
points. 2? Oh God.
Dos McLean, 2 points.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we're going to stress through this. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's grand final weekend. Just what we need. It's a 3 o'clock game. I'm not sure. I wonder actually because this game for the faithful, AFLW broadcaster, because this is on at 3:05. It's Ebony Marinov's 100th game. I'm half expecting this to be on Channel Set. Nah, it's not. It's on Fox Footy. Sucked in, everyone.
Well, yeah. So
The
in
channel,
Sydney,
the
it'll be on
channel,
Channel 7
yeah,
because
the
we get
Channel
all
Set.
the Sydney games.
The Channel 7 game is St Kilda and Port Adelaide at 1 o'clock. They're not showing Adelaide and Sydney or Brisbane and Richmond. It's only the
Imagine.
100th. The
Oh.
positive is,
Well,
I reckon we'll get Ben Waterworth or Jess Webster on the call.
yeah, we won't get Kelly this week, which will be
Uh,
nice.
she
She
didn't
didn't
have a
actually,
good
because
night.
she didn't know who Amelia or Ruby were on the weekend. That was very fun to watch back.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
but let's jump into some tipping for the rest of the week because we do have a Thursday night game this Friday night
Yeah,
game? Thursday night game
Thursday
this week.
night because it's we've obviously got the grand final this
Grand
week.
final on
So
Saturday.
we do have the Friday off here in Melbourne, which is great. So we get to the True Bloods thing. Ah, Big Phil, he's still Big Phil, Greg on the Goldie, and Britty 93, all on 40 points.
Impressive. That is very impressive.
GT at Henson and Deebs are on 39 points. Polly is one ahead of me in 11th on 36. I'm on 35. Mads tipped 7 last week and is on 24 on the comeback trail in last.
Here we go. He's made his moves. He's
Yeah.
not trying to get wooden spoon anymore.
Yeah. So let's go 7:15 on a Thursday night. So last year, if you can find a replay of the Hawthorn Geelong game from last year at Goomba, it is the single greatest game of AFLW that you'll ever see. It was fantastic. Hawthorn can't kick a score this year though. Geelong.
Yeah, Geelong. And I'm going by like 6 goals or
Yeah.
something. Like, yeah.
105 Casey Fields. I won't be going because I just don't want to drive to Cranbourne. Melbourne.
It's also Friday.
Yes.
It's public holiday in Melbourne.
Yeah.
No,
105
I don't have a public holiday on Friday. But
Yeah, should be public holiday. 105 Friday afternoon, Casey Fields. Melbourne take on the Gold Coast. The D's will smash them.
Jeez.
How far will North Melbourne beat Essendon by at Windy Hill at 3:05?
Essendon might not score a point.
So in the preseason faithful, for those playing at home, this is why I thought Bogue, who we've talked about a few times from North, would kick a bunch of goals. She kicked 4 against North Essendon in a half a footy, and I think they won that game 92-7 in the preseason.
Yeah.
They
might break the record they already set this
The
year.
unfortunate thing for North here is Windy Hill is literally windy. It is the
Yeah.
worst place. But yeah, North Melbourne will win that by like 90 points. 5:05 at Icon Park, faithful. If you're around, get down to Icon Park. Carlton are playing Freo. That'll be a fun game. I'm going to head down to that. Carlton will win that.
I think so, but I think it'll be a good game. Freo started to look better.
Yeah. 7:15 at Witten. The Western Bulldogs take on Collingwood.
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 Also, Faithful, I'm just going to quickly point this out. If you are in Melbourne, all of those games are on Friday on the public holiday in Melbourne. Maybe just wander down to one if you live close to one of these venues.
I'm going to Icon Park. Carlton are fun. I want to watch Carlton.
I really like Whitten Oval as a venue. That should also be a good game.
They have the best hot chips in the league.
Yes.
Whitten Oval.
So just, if just support some of the girls. Doesn't have to be our girls. Go and support some of the other girls too.
Yeah, like there's some fun players. Like if you go watch North Melbourne, you'll get to watch North Melbourne. They're fun.
Yeah.
Collingwood have some very good footballers, as do the Dogs. Carlton and Freo is going to be a bunch of fun. But Sunday, so no games on Saturday for obvious reasons. Sunday, 105 RESA Park. St Kilda, after beating Richmond, which was take on Port Adelaide, who were robbed against Geelong last week.
I don't know if you can see if you've got the percentages on there.
Yep.
91 to 9%.
there.
I think Port's gonna win.
Yeah, no, I'm tipping Port as well. We're tipping the Schwannies. How many points did Brisbane put on this awful Richmond team?
If the men's team win on Saturday, they're going to have a very, very fun celebration at Brighton Homes Arena like they had last year. And it's going to be even more fun.
That's when they played Adelaide last year. That game was sick. Yeah, well, they're gonna smoke it. And 5 p.m. Mineral Resources Park over in WA.
West Coast bounce back.
Dear God, please let West Coast. If GWS win 3 in a row, I'm just God.
Someone has cursed us. If GWS win 3 in a row after how shitty they have been about their own women's team, someone has cursed us.
Yeah. And a side note, because we're not going to ask, who wins the men's in the battle of the we beat the shit out of Sydney grand final?
We both have soft spots for Geelong, so I don't think we're allowed to answer this objectively, but I do think I prefer Geelong. Game style, and I would much rather see them win. And I don't want to see a team go back to back.
Well, I don't like Bailey Smith, so that's my problem. But my fiance,
But I like everyone else.
My fiance goes for Geelong, and I love Jezza, so yeah.
Yeah, I love Jezza. I love Max Holmes. Danger as the captain.
That's a thing. So you've got Max Holmes or the Big O. One of them's going to get a medal on the weekend because they both missed their respective flogging Sydney wins.
Yeah.
So it's nice that one of them's going to get a medal on Saturday.
Yes. I'm hoping it's Max. I have a soft spot for Geelong.
I love Big O's harmless, so he's a big dumpy.
Yeah. Like they're both two teams that are very fine. Like I really don't care that much either way.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're done, Paul. We've waffled on.
Yeah, look, this is going to be a long episode now. I have to go and edit it. So this has been True Bloods, the #1 independent Sydney Swans fan podcast. We're #1 in the hearts. We're #1 on the charts. We're speaking words of wisdom. Up the potty.